was just a lot of politics that you would have had to navigate. I just felt really lost and very small in that big machine. How difficult it was to get there, I don't ever want to go back. Hi, I'm Zoe Saldaña, and today I'm gonna be running through my iconic roles.
What kind of roles are you expected to see?
I am seeing one, it's one of the scenes from the movie Crossroads, so I'm looking forward to revisiting that. I haven't seen it in years. I don't know what else you got cooking in there.
Didn't want to wake you.
Oh my God, you guys. So we shot this somewhere in California or in Louisiana. I think it was California. And we had a blast. I remember every day it was just so fun, and we were always singing. I kept pinching myself. I couldn't believe that I was doing this movie, and I was here. I was playing a Southern girl. I had never really played that, so I was trying the best that I could to do a good job.
You had done some dance musical type films before,
Yeah.
but with this, obviously, with Britney being in it, and at the time she was a huge musician, was there any nervousness stepping in to be like, how am I gonna be doing a little bit of singing next to somebody like Britney Spears?
No, there was no singing. I mean, there was just that one scene in the end, and they were like, can you guys just do the chorus with her? And I was like, absolutely, but I like to sing, and I grew up on stage, dancing ballet. I was a little afraid, so I was like, it's like, don't get ahead of yourself, do not upstage, don't ruffle any feathers, just do a good job. I remember that because just all the reps, she had so many reps and so many producers, and there was so much privacy around. Oh my God. That was in 2001. It's probably before you were born. 9/11 had just occurred, and I had done all the testings for this film, and I had booked it. I was afraid of flying, so I drove from New York to Atlanta. I had such a wonderful time just being, down south, but with the African American community, understanding what college life was, spending Thanksgiving there, learning how to step.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to step. My sister was in a step team. I mean, when you dance ballet, you're actually taught to walk light, not to stomp hard.
When you get approached with a script like this, what kind of goes through your head of, it's not a traditional, well, definitely at that time, it definitely isn't a traditional film. You're kind of like, a film about a drumline? So
I didn't even know what a drumline was, and then I started watching all these videos that I bought on these competitions, Clark University, Morris Brown, all of these places, and it was amazing. Oh, I miss that, Johnny. What a great movie. It really was fun and entertaining and very well shot, very well performed. It was all around such a diverse cast as well, all ages, all walks of life, but a hard production. It was just so big. It was too big of a machine for me, and it was too out of control. So what I see that transpired on screen, I'm very proud of. How difficult it was to get there, I don't ever want to go back.
Was it true that you were supposed to potentially be a recurring character?
I was only asked to be a part of one, and then that was it. And maybe they chose to go in a different direction. If that was certainly the goal in the beginning, it didn't transpire by the end of the production, and I'm happy it didn't. There was just a lot of politics that you would have had to navigate, and it just I just felt really lost and very small in that big machine. But I'm happy for all the actors that benefited from this, because they certainly did, and they went off to have amazing careers, and I followed their careers and felt really inspired. But for me, it was definitely an experience not worth repeating. Oh! We had a blast shooting this, and it was a lot of fun. I got the script. I think I was still living in New York, and I flew in for this, and they told me that I was gonna do this, oh, do you wanna play this role? Mila is going to be playing this other part. And I thought, well, I've never played a lesbian before. This is really awesome. And I thought, well, it can't be that different from my style, because I was always a very much of a tomboy, and I liked to dress in that way, and it was fun. I liked the story that Eric Amadio had written for these two characters. It just felt to me real and not gratuitous, and I don't know. It was fun.
I was wondering, when you film things like this, depending on the time that this was filmed for sure, do you ever think of the impact that it might have shaping some people's lives?
When you're doing things like that, you you're lucky if you tap into the impact it's gonna have on your life. You know what I mean? You're such a workhorse. For you, it's like, I got here and I gotta go there. I have to go there, you know, like, especially because you're starting out and you're just hustling. You're in the hustle and bustle. Now when somebody compels me to slow down and stop and turn around and appreciate what meant a lot for them, and you're responsible for that, it's quite honorable. Cool. I don't think I've ever really understood how important Star Trek is for the Trekkies, for people that are like uber fans. But I really admire, it all, and I feel very blessed that I was a part of it. Shooting that was challenging because we were in this environment where they kept putting these big fans and having these particles like fly all over the place, so they were getting everywhere. I wanted to do so much more with the stunts, and JJ did not want Uhura to get so involved. And I remember I was like, "Oh, but let me do the kick, let me do this turn," and he was like, "No, just this is fine." I'm like, "Okay," but it was a lot of fun.
That's why you rolled into Marvel kicking everywhere. You were like, I needed a bit. But I was gonna ask you, which fan base were you more nervous to tap into, the Trekkies or the Marvel fans? These are two very dedicated fan bases. Was there any
I think the Trekkies.
Yeah.
Because that was much more established, and they were actors that had done it before us. For Guardians, it was a blank slate, so there was a lot more freedom, I guess. I don't know, fun. Aw, that was such a great story, and I'm so happy that I was a part of it, and I hope that it provided some kind of healing, continuous healing for the family, for Tembilak and for her whole family. I got to work with amazing people. I got to, highlight a culture that I have married into, that I have a great deal of respect for. It was just wonderful. And we got to shoot in Italy. Come on,
Yeah.
For it to have been that well received, are we communicating here? But for it to have been that well received, worldwide, I was not expecting that. So I was really happy.
To be honest, when I watched it, I also wasn't expecting to ugly cry for 10 episodes straight. I remember my boyfriend coming in like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, I don't know what I've watched.
I know, but we needed it. We needed a story, especially after 2020. We just needed to kind of feel and have an excuse to let out all these emotions. The thing about grief is that it's not exclusive. By the time we reach a certain age, we will have experienced grief and loss at an early age, in a dramatic way, in an impactful way, in a shocking way, but we will have experienced it nonetheless. So this was important for me personally because I did experience loss when I was 9, and it shaped my life every day since then. And so I needed to be a part of something that was really important for me because I just wanted to explore it again. But from the shoes of my mother, because I was the child exploring it back then. Oh, this was so much fun.
I wanted to ask, when you signed on to the films, did you know that it was going to be such a long release? Because I know you mentioned that you're going to be in your 50s for the last...
53, when we release Avatar 5, thank you very much.
But when you first shot, did you know it was going to be such a timeline?
No, I hoped. It was feeling special from the beginning, and the more and more we kept covering, the more impactful this was becoming. And obviously, everything that Jim would explain to me, I was 27, I was like, it would go right over my head. The technology, the science, the cameras that he was building, the computer system, everything. The worldwide reception, it being as impactful as it was unimaginable for me. But knowing that meant that it secured me a constant visit to Pandora was rewarding. Oh.
Where do you think Gamora is right now in relation to Quinn? Do you think there's ever going to be a chance?
To Quell, in relation to Quell?
Sorry.
No, it's okay, you just did what Gamora did, it's fine, it's so appropriate. The way that James Gunn decided to sort of make Gamora apart from being a Guardians kind of dictates what her destiny is, I thought that she was going to find her way back into being a Guardian, but that wasn't what James Gunn wanted in the end. I accepted it, and I think that, the end feels beautiful. My hope is that the Guardians one day will need, once again, the help of the Ravagers, and his path will cross with Gamora, and she will at least be curious now to explore a journey with him, because they were, they were really great together.
They were for sure, but thank you for running through your roles with me. This is
Thank
great.
you.
I hope you enjoyed them.
I did. It kind of put me like in a state. I was like, let's watch more.